recording?
Okay. Yes. So,
Okay.
how important has sports been in your life?
I would say real important. Um, as a kid, we were always outside playing sports, always. And then I lost my father when I was 11, and we belonged to an athletic club, Knick-Knack, and then we were lifetime members. Because I lost my brother, your Uncle Rick, and I lost my father, so we were lifetime members, and it was very important. Gave us something to do. Kept us around other kids our age, and it was in Detroit, so it was the best. But back then it wasn't bad. 60s, early 70s, way back then. It was very important.
Who most influenced you in becoming interested in sports?
I would have to say my dad or grandpa. He would come in the backyard and play catch, because Uncle Rick was really good. We didn't play softball, we played hardball, and he was a pitcher, and naturally I had to become a catcher. And he was almost a couple of years older than me, so you can imagine the garage door had a lot of dents in it. But I would have to say my dad, who's got me interested, and then just naturally wanted to compete, with your friends. We played everything: basketball, baseball, strikeout, football. We played curb ball off the curbs. We played all kinds of games.
Did you guys watch a lot of sports growing up?
There wasn't really a lot of sports on TV because it was just local channels. We didn't have cable. Nobody had cable. It wasn't around then. There was probably satellite, but you had to have a humongous dish in your yard, and that wasn't just practical. So we'd watch Tigers games when they were on, and Red Wings games, Old Olympia, when they were on, Gordie Howe and them, yeah. And then Detroit was like the spot because there were so many people and things that came out of Detroit. It was great.
Did you ever have an athlete that you just really liked? It doesn't have to be when you were younger. It could have been later.
I don't know. I kind of liked Al Kaline, growing up, because he was really what an athlete I thought an athlete should be. And then I also liked, younger, I also liked Willie Horton. He was really cool. But I don't idolize. I never did idolize anyone like that. Musicians, sports, none of them. I like to play the sport. To sit and watch it was more difficult. Really.
Do you have a greatest memory for watching or even playing sports?
Well, when we were playing organized baseball, like I said, your Uncle Rick was a pitcher, and he was exceptional. He had an exceptional fastball. It was in the 90s, and we were young, teenagers. one game, he struck out 19 out of 21 batters, and that just happened to be on my birthday. And he gave me the ball. That was so cool. I was so happy.
Big brother gave you the ball.
Yeah, gave me that. Yeah. You know, we were at the ball game when Willie Horton caught all those fly balls for a record for an outfielder. You know, but I mean, you're happy when they win the World Series or Stanley Cup or World Championship. Like that. It's cool. We celebrate. I celebrated when the '68 Tigers won, and the '84 Tigers won, and when the Pistons won, '89, '90.
And then the 2000s.
Big almost.
Who won with Chauncey Billups?
That was.
They won back to back.
Oh yeah, right. They did win one too. One, didn't they?
I'm not sure.
I remember the Bad Boys and then Chauncey Billups and then had one, I think. They almost had two, if I'm not mistaken. 90, 91, maybe?
It was in the 2000s. Google it.
Go ahead.
While you're Googling that, I know you said that you don't really idolize sports and your life doesn't really hinge
How many
upon
championships has the Pistons won?
But did you ever have a great disappointment with watching sports?
Yes, that's the problem I have with watching sports. Basketball. How it would seem that the referees aren't calling the game fair. Hockey, same thing. Baseball, strike zone changes. But in baseball, it's a little bit different, because it's a long process, 9 innings, and but for basketball, one of your good players, you call unnecessary fouls on them, and they're out of the game. That changes the whole makeup of the game, And if you're in the playoffs or in a championship game, then it's you watch the whole season for nothing. So that that's why I'd rather play. Boxing, same thing. We don't watch boxing anymore because of that. I watch MMA. Well, because I like martial arts. You know that. Same thing.
I don't like boxing.
I know boxing is not. It's not a sport that is judged fairly. Let's put it that way.
Do you have a sport that you care the most about?
I would say it would have to be baseball because we, we get to sit in our living room and almost every game is broadcast, and I sit here with my wife, and we enjoy watching the game. It's great. And not only that, but it also helps that the team is doing really good. They've got some really good players: Cabrera, Fielder, Peralta, Martinez, Verlander. I mean, you can just go on, So it's good. Yeah, so that's probably would be my answer. Baseball.
Do you think having played baseball as a kid has any influence on why you like it so much?
No, I'd have to go back to because we played street hockey in the neighborhood, and we would in between the Tipperary pub and the place that made false teeth. And I'm not kidding. And we had street pucks. We had a blast, and the Red Wings were good then too. Gordie Howe, Delvecchio, Mahavlich, Crozier in goal, and so no, I would have to say that it all goes back to not um, calling the games fairly. Because I hate cheating. I hate that. If you're going to call the game, call it. If you're going to let it go, let it go. You know?
It's amazing you can remember those names.
No, they're.
I can only remember soccer names ever.
It's the same thing. It's something that you cared about, and you just bam, boom, badooda. You can name Red Wings. You know Red Wings. Your star, Koser and Probert. And you know hockey or football players, Barry Sanders and you know, and Herman Moore and you know.
That's all I have is Barry Sanders.
And another thing, about that, what also turned me off was, you know, the Pistons won the World Championship, and they're coming back to the arena to celebrate with the fans, and in that celebration, they inform one of the key players that he's no longer with the team. During the celebration, I mean, really, you know, and then they brought him back a couple of years later, but you know, the damage is done. You know what I'm saying? How could you do that? That's terrible. Let them guys celebrate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I can see that. How do you think sports have changed from when you were a kid?
Oh, it's more commercial. It used to be. Like you could tell that the players loved what they were doing, and it wasn't about the money. Now it's about the money. Well, I want to get mine. You know, I'm not staying with your team. I'm going to have me a big old production and see who's going to take me. And I'll announce, or I'm holding out. I don't want to go to this team. Football. Eli Manning did that to San Diego. You know, I'm holding out. I'm not going to play there. And so he goes to Giants. He's good. He won Super Bowls, a couple of them, you know. But that's, to me, it's arrogance, and it's about the money, and you know.
Do you think that like TV is important for sports? Like,
it has to be, because
being able to see it.
Well, no. See, the whole thing is, and don't get me wrong about the money part of it, because if you offered me $1 million for this interview or my opinion, I would be a fool not to take it. And if I offered you $1 million to interview me, you'd be a fool not to take it. You know what I'm saying? Now, how you make that money up is another thing. So, you know, the owners are stupid enough to pay the players whatever it is because they want the star attraction or whatever. So, yeah, they have to market their investments. It's very important for sports. It is. I don't think it's fairly divided, you know, because I have a daughter and she is into sports, and her sports just happen to be women's sports, and I watch them too. And we just watched the game last night, a international women's soccer match, where, you know, one of the players set a world record of scoring goals, broke another famous soccer player's world record, Mia Hamm and Abby Wambach, you know, and we have another player on the team that's probably going to break their records, and a Canadian player that'll probably break them before her, you know. And I wouldn't have known this if my daughter wasn't. I wouldn't have known this if my daughter wasn't involved in the sports, and that's unfair because they don't publish or broadcast these those sports where their teams are actually they have a better win percentage and are more exciting to watch than most of the men's. So,
Do you think having kids and like watching sports through their eyes has changed the way that you view sports?
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I would have never watched women's sports ever. Maybe beach volleyball, but not for the sport. I'm just being honest. You know, but now if I watched women's beach volleyball, it would be for the sport because they got some killer teams. You know, Misty May, I'm telling you, them guys are great. We watched history. Three three Olympic gold medals. Yeah, I mean that's history.
Okay.
We watched history in baseball too last year with Miguel Cabrera and that Triple Crown.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool.
That was awesome. Justin Verlander, no hitter. We watched it on TV. Better than going to the game because we had play-by-play, we had color commentary, and we were sitting in the comfort of our homes with the humongous HD TV.
And nobody was spilling beer on you.
And not one person yelled or screamed unless it was our team scoring and we all did the...
Okay. Do sports matter?
To what, the world?
To the world, to history, to
Yeah.
to the way we remember
it's
events.
Entertainment, man, sure. That's look at World War II, and all the players that went, and it was so important that they got a bunch of women, farm women and city women to play. That's how important it is. So that's and look at that from history. That aspect of it, yeah, very important. Sports, very important. Even if you're not a pro, just to get out and run and throw and laugh and it doesn't matter if you're good, it doesn't matter if you're great. It just matters if you had some fun, and that's the key, even in the backyard playing catch. That's a sport, that's playing catch. Standing on the sidewalk in front of your house and playing, oh God, what's the name of it? Where you steal the base? Chicken leg?
Pickle?
Pickle, there you go. That's it. That's I'm getting old, so. But we played that all the time. Get in the middle.
Do you think sports have further to go?
Well, as far as safety, yes. But you're talking about, motocross and BMX and snowboarding and stuff like that. I don't know, man. The sky's the limit. They're doing stuff I'd never dreamed possible. Motorcycles and all kind of, I don't know, football. It's causing so many concussions and so many kids and so many adults, even healthy, monstrous people reduced to mush. So in that aspect, yeah. As far as pushing the limits, they're always going to do that. always, and somebody's always going to do something more daring.
Because you brought up BMX and made me think of something else. How do you feel about the Olympics putting in like BMX and stuff like that, and then taking out baseball and wrestling and things like that? How do you feel about the way the Olympic Committee is
don't.
doing that?
If I think that they should, if they wanted to add new events, add new sporting events, they should just add them. They shouldn't take away events that are already there. If you want to make the Olympics bigger, make it bigger, but don't shorten it up by taking away things that are, attendance grabbers. Our whole country follows baseball. That's our national pastime. And to alleviate it from the Olympics and you put in what? Badminton?
Trampolines.
And I'm not saying anything bad about them either. That's cool, let them in, but don't take out baseball. Don't take out wrestling. Really? Those are two actual sports that would define the sport, That's how I see it.
That's all I got.
Add more. Don't take away. It seemed like when they took the baseball away, it was like they were punishing the country because they were good. And the country that wasn't supposed to be good actually won the year they took it away.
Over softball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Japan.
Yep.
Japan again did it to the U.S. in soccer also. What is it with them Japanese people? They just got that extra gumption.
Not anymore. They're.
Hey.
Omarisawa has vertigo.
It counts when it needs to.
Yeah.
They get it done when it needed to. If you had seen it on paper, you would have said, no way. But there was a way.
There was a way.
So, that's what makes it interesting. Look at that baseball. You couldn't cheat your way out of that. They won that game fair and square. You know what I'm saying? That was beautiful. Of course, I wasn't happy about it, but you know what I'm saying? I love that.
That's unpredictable.
Yeah, I love that.
Just takes one time.
Beat your big brother, and that's what they did. They beat their big sister. Never lost a game. And, guess what? The one that you're supposed to win, you lost. Yeah.
It's a heck of a way to go out.
Well, overconfidence, plays mind tricks with you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anytime. Go green!
Go white!